Cammie's here with the business. Great to see you. Spain is first facing a worsening housing crisis. Tourism making it worse. Tell us how.
That's right. We've been seeing quite a few anti-tourism protests going on around Spain, in Barcelona particularly. That's because tourism is breaking new records in the country, with another 13% increase in visitors this year. But homelessness in Spain's cities is also on the rise. It's up 24% since 2012. And the country's central bank says the country would need to build an extra 1.5 million homes to meet its target. Tom Canetti takes a closer look at Madrid.
Homelessness is surging in Spain, and locals are blaming tourism. The supply of long-term rentals in Madrid has fallen 15% in a year, while short-term rentals have increased by 56%. This shift in the rental market has driven house prices up and meant a lot of them are being taken over by short-term rental agencies. That's the case for Carmen, who's just been notified to leave her flat.
People have been thrown out onto the streets, evicting those who have lived there for years. The news reports that around 5 million tourists are arriving, so they want the apartments for them.
Others, like 62-year-old Francisco Carrillo, have just been priced out of the market, forcing them to sleep on the street. Francisco lived in the back room of a theatre for 3 years after he couldn't afford rent while paying for throat cancer treatment. Thanks to charity Mundo Justo, finally, Francisco has a bed.
Tonight, I'm going to dream all night. I'm going to sleep like a baby.
Mundo Justo belongs to Techo, a social investment fund that provides rental homes to charity groups working with the homeless. In April, Techo floated on the Spanish stock market with the support of 33 business partners, including global firms EY and CBRE.
With the initial public offering, our goal is to continue growing, enabling us to purchase more apartments to accommodate more homeless individuals. It's an impact investment that balances economic profitability with social returns, but the focus is primarily on social profitability.
The rate of homelessness in Spain has risen by 24% since 2012 to 28,000 people. One of the reasons behind these figures, Spain's lack of social housing. Spain's social housing rate is just 1.5% of all homes, compared to the European average of 9%.
China is building more wind and solar power projects than the rest of the world combined. The world's second largest economy is currently the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, but it's committed to bringing carbon emissions to a peak by 2030 and to net zero by 2060. Research published by NGO Global Energy Monitor shows China is on track to reach 1,200 gigawatts of installed wind and solar capacity by the end of the year. That's 6 years ahead of the government's target. The findings highlight China's leading position in global renewable energy production. This as the US increasingly worries about Chinese overcapacity and dumping, particularly in the solar industry. Renewables are set to overtake coal by the end of the year in China, but that doesn't mean its power grid doesn't still heavily rely on it. Let's take a quick look at today's trading action now. European stocks closing higher on Thursday. Paris' CAC 40 leading gains. They're closing up over 0.7%. Data coming in from the UK today showed its economy grew by 0.4% in May, rebounding from no growth in April and coming in ahead of a 0.2% forecast. The British pound also rising to its highest level against the US dollar since July last year. Goldman Sachs upgraded its growth forecast for the UK last week after the Labour Party's decisive victory in the country's general election. In the US, meanwhile, the S&P 500 has fallen from its record as a lower consumer price index reading came in. It fell 0.1% last month from May, bringing the annual inflation rate down to 3%. The Nasdaq also sharply pulling back after hitting a new record earlier in the trading day. The Dow Jones, meanwhile, trading in positive territory. And we end with the world's first AI beauty pageant crowning a winner. Kenza Layli is a Moroccan lifestyle influencer who says she hopes to bring diversity and inclusivity to the AI creator landscape. Everything about her is AI generated. Let's take a listen to her acceptance speech.
I am incredibly grateful for this opportunity to represent AI creators and to advocate passionately for the positive impact of artificial intelligence. I firmly believe that AI has the potential to revolutionize industries, solve complex problems, and improve lives worldwide. Furthermore, I am committed to continuing my mission to empower women worldwide, including those in Morocco and the Arab world, and amplifying their voices in the tech industry.
The contest drew entries from about 1,500 AI programmers around the world. Layli was created by Miriam Besser, founder of the Phoenix AI agency, who's received a $5,000 cash prize for that. The contest wasn't just based on looks, the organisers say. Social media influence also played a central role. It's part of a general rise in AI influencers with huge online communities, some making up to €10,000 per month. The runners-up in the contest include AI contestant Lelina Valina from France. Here's a picture of her there, very realistic. And now for those involved, the event was an opportunity to showcase the technology's extraordinary abilities, but for others it sparked concern at the virtual but very lifelike women are now setting the standard in an already pretty toxic beauty industry, Mark.
I can only underline what you've just said, and I can just assure you that Cami and I are completely real people and not AI at all.
For now.
We're here with all our faults, and we cherish them. Cami, great to see you. Thank you very much indeed for bringing us that business. That disturbing story about AI, isn't it? Very disturbing stuff indeed. But ingenious at the same time. Remarkable. Do stay with us. More to come. Prime News Paris.